Guys, so I have a huge book haul for you guys today. This is part one of part two. The first part is from Crown's Bookstore, which is a used bookstore, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. So let's get started. These books were from Barnes & Noble. I got Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. This is about a guy who owns a bar, and he holds boxing matches in there. So this one I heard really good reviews on, so I'm really excited to find out what this one actually is about. The next one I picked up was Wither by Lauren DeStefano, and this is part of the Chemical Garden series. And this is the first book. It's about a girl named Ryan, and in her society, women live until they're 20 and males live until they're 25. The women are kidnapped and sold into as polygamous brides to bear more children. And this is kind of going to be her story. I think there's going to be some kind of a love affair, maybe love interest. This is the first of the three books. Fever is the second one, and I believe the third one just came out. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. The next book I picked up was A Slice of Cherry by Dia Reeves, who is the author of Bleeding Violet. And this is about a group of girls, Kit and Fancy. They are sisters, and they were born to a father who is better known as the Bonesaw Killer. And somewhere along the line, their serial killer instincts that were passed down through their DNA awaken, and some kind of mysterious fantasies gonna awaken between the girls. So I'm really excited to read this book. I've only heard really good reviews, and look at this cover. Doesn't that just make you want to read the book? I think that's gorgeous. The next one I picked up was Beautiful by Amy Reed, and this one is about a girl named Cassie who moves to Seattle. She's a really good girl, but she's ready to shed that good girl image and turn kind of that girl. So she steps into her identity, but she doesn't know what to expect, and what she's expecting isn't what happens. So apparently this has some kind of violence and abuse to her story. So I'm really excited to find out how it all unravels and how does it end. So I'm really excited about this one. The next one I picked up was Muscle Cars by Mike Mueller. And this one is just a collection of muscle cars from the American era, and you pretty much, it's just really awesome pictures. Look at this. And before each picture there is a page of just facts about the car itself. It tells you the engine size, how much it's worth, interesting facts that you might never known, what type of transmission, and then some interesting facts while it was in running in the year that it was made. So that was really cool. I'm really loving this one. The next thing I picked up was the DVD, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And if you guys have seen my earlier videos, you know that I ranted about the book. So I'm really excited to pick up the video because I haven't seen the movie yet. So on the front cover there's Blomkvist and Elizabeth Slander, and on the back there's a forest, and then house, and then Blomkvist again. I believe this is Elizabeth Slander, and then there's just some really interesting, really mysterious pictures. And I love the DVD because it looks like someone burned it, but it's an actual, that's how it was made. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited to see this one. The next thing I picked up from Barnes & Noble was The Road by Cormac McCarthy, and this is about a father and son who travel across America after an apocalypse happens. And pretty much, I don't think there's much dialogue in this book. I did start reading it, and from what I personally saw, there's not much dialogue. It's more of a description story about how they travel through America and their surroundings and how different it is from before the apocalypse happened. So I'm kind of excited to read that. The next thing I picked up was Carrier of the Mark, and the synopsis on the back really reminds me of the Fallen series. I will do reviews on Passion and Torment in the next couple of days, but you guys could find Fallen review up in the top. And this is about a girl named Megan Rosenberg who moves to Ireland, and she begins a life at a new school where everything seems perfect until she meets this guy named Adam D. Rice, and apparently somehow Adam and Megan are tied going back centuries and centuries of years ago. So this looks really, really good. I'm really excited to find out what happens. And look at this cover. I think that's beautiful. I'm so excited to keep that on my shelf. The next thing I picked up was The Body Finder by Kimberly Derting, I think. Hope I didn't butcher that, but I think I did. And this is about a girl named Violet Ambrosa, and she gets images of dead bodies. She can sense them. And she not only senses dead bodies, she senses those bodies that have been murdered. So all of a sudden, this serial killer ends up in her town, and she begins sensing a bunch of bodies surrounding her. And who knows, maybe she's going to be next. The next book I picked up was Burned from the House of Night series. This is by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. And along with that, I also picked up Tempted. And these are just a continuation of the series. I'm not going to go into great detail about them because I think this is book 6 and 7, or 5 and 6. So I'm not even going to really talk about them, but it's another spin-off vampires. If you guys haven't checked those books out, I highly recommend to check out At Least Marked. It's quite interesting. The next couple of books I got are written by one of my favorite authors of all time, and Ronald Dahl. I know. It's not really YA, it's child lit. But I picked up Matilda by Ronald Dahl and Big Fat Giant, The Witches, Danny and the Champion of the World, James and the Giant Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Charlie and the Glass Elevator. And I'm absolutely in love with the art in these books. They're by Quentin Blake. I really hope that one day I'll have all of Ronald Dahl's books. I actually wanted to buy them all in like a series in just one set, but they're quite expensive. So I didn't buy them, but I'm buying them separately, which is probably going to be just the same, but you know, periodical. The next book I picked up was Titanic Love Stories, and this was in the bargain bin, and I absolutely adore Titanic. I think that story is super interesting. I love the movie, and I know it's a tragedy, and I totally respect that, but I think it's really interesting to learn about the people that were on the ship and why they were on it, where they were traveling, because Titanic was supposed to make a couple destinations, I believe, in different ports, and I just think it's really cool because each person on Titanic ranges from different classes, coming from the humble poor class up to the really rich class. So I'm really excited to see what kind of couples were actually on the ship and why they were traveling. So that's really exciting. Then I picked up a couple of things from Amazon.com. I got Babe in Boyland, which tells the story of Natalie, who writes a love column for her school newspaper. And she is the love doctor of her school newspaper. And she tries to figure out, I guess she has this advice, and she wants to ask what guys really think, and none of the boys in her class are telling her. So she goes undercover and dresses up as a boy and starts hanging out with the guys to write her story. So that looks really, really interesting. I'm really excited. And the next thing I picked up is another movie video type thing. I picked up the Games of Thrones. This is season 1. I haven't read the books, but I heard good things about this series. Oh, I can't talk today. About this series. It's apparently something about fighting for this throne. There's about think there's three different kingdoms that want it, and they're all fighting for it. From what I might be completely wrong. If I am, please correct me, because I really don't know anything about this series. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I just know that my neighbor wanted to borrow it, and I had it, and he adored it. And I did buy the book, so I did want to have the series as well. So if you guys have any thoughts about this one, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about it. The next thing I picked up was Bat Manga, and this was written in Japan in the year 1966 and 1967. The Japanese writers took a different look on Batman, and these are their stories of how they viewed Batman back in the day. And originally they were written in Japanese, but they were translated to English. And the art is a lot different from American comic books. If you guys take a look at them, there's a lot more color in the American comic books than there are in this one. It's more of the yellow pages, more of the black and orangey colors, not much color to it, but it still looks really good. I'm really excited to see their twist on the Batman story. And the last book I have is Thirst, and this is number 3, Eternal Dawn. It has Reckless Behavior and Endless Pursuit by Christopher Pike. It is about a vampire named Eliza, and who fell in love with a human in the other 2 books, from what I've heard. I haven't read the first and second novel, but from what I've read on the back, it's about a girl who falls in love with a human, and humanity is on her hands, so she needs to figure out how to save humanity. So I'm really excited to get into this series as well. If you guys have any thoughts on this one, please let me know. Leave a comment down below, or send me a message, or make a video response letting me know what you thought about it. And that is my Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and Crown Bookstore book haul. I had to think about that for a second. I'm going to do another book haul. I went to the library and bought a couple of things there, so I'll do another book haul in a few minutes. I hope you guys are having a great Friday night, and I'll see you in my next video.